Hello and welcome to another pencil sketch video. I have a few things to say related to the process of integrating thought, design and imagination into your drawings and sketches, which has been something I have been working on lately. Just a note, in the background right now it might be hard to see because I'm using a 2H pencil to lightly block in the sketch. I also use a lot of straight lines, blocky shapes and constantly adjust the angles and sizes of things. I will stop and look at my reference as best I can to compare it with the part that I just drew, constantly checking and rechecking and making both minor and major adjustments as needed before moving on to the next part. You will see how I build up the drawing and make corrections on the fly. I am finding this process serves me really well with pencil sketches at least, and it's quite comforting knowing that I can make changes at any time, and I do. I definitely recommend drawing this way at the start for beginners, as I find it the fastest way to get going without losing that enthusiasm for drawing too quickly, at least at the start. Anyway, on to the subject of integrating thought, design and imagination into your drawings. Wow, it's really hard, and there can be a real barrier moving from copying references while you learn to draw and making something up on your own. For me at least, creating a completely new concept is just too hard right now. I don't have the visual library or even the visual memory to be successful at this just yet. That doesn't mean it's not possible, it just means I have to find a path that will lead me to that goal. And I believe it's a skill that can be learned just like any other, and it takes a massive amount of practice, trial and error to find what does and doesn't work. The big question, how to get started though? Creating something completely new out of imagination isn't really working for me. I seem to create rubbish and forget how to draw completely. So I decided the best way to get started would be to start small, making small changes to my reference or combining different references. This way the fear of failure isn't so great to deter me from trying. So, if you're like me and have trouble with this part of art and are really sick and tired of making straight copies of references, I do recommend to try this method out as well. It seems to be working for me and I do believe that it will work for others as well. Okay, so how I got started with this particular sketch was on Pinterest. I knew I wanted to create something a bit different, so when I'm browsing Pinterest, I have that thought in my mind. So now I'm looking at how a combination of two or more images could work together. I'm using my brain to create new connections and use the references in different ways. You could be browsing and find any two pictures to combine. It could be a horse and a butterfly, a portrait and the scales of a snake. In my case, it was a male figure and bird wings. A bit cliche, but I'm working up to bigger concepts later on and creating new mental pathways and ways to look at my references. I'll work on the bigger, harder concepts later. So starting with easy things to combine and thinking about the design you want to end up with. In my case, I just wanted to add a wing to the figure. I have to decide how many wings, how they will sit and where they will come from, and what mood do I want to convey. These are all really important questions to ask in the conception stage when creating that initial seed of an idea. In this case, I decided just one wing as I didn't want to cover the torso too much. It's something that I still wanted to practice drawing. I wanted to have a more relaxed mood, so no flapping or great arching wings. A droopy wing to go with the slightly slumped, relaxed figure. I wanted to draw a moment of pause, perhaps contemplation. So with that plan, I can find what I need and get started. By doing it this way, I'm not stressing my brain too hard to make everything up, which it's not used to doing, frankly, and I'm putting new skills to use. Something I want to note is that it would have been better if I had have taken the time to create thumbnail sketches to explore the composition and design more. I might have ended up with a completely different concept, but I've been feeling really lazy lately and I just wanted to get on with it, so this was the compromise. And there's no shame in that really. If you are like me, just do what you can. What I found doing this exercise, and you might too, is that not only are you expanding your imagination, you will also learn how to draw new things, which in turn will expand your drawing skills. Well, obviously. But it's building up that visual library and reinforcing how to learn to draw new things. So hopefully in time you will be able to draw lots of things and draw from memory and your practice visual library. And I say practice visual library because I think it's more important to practice drawing what you see rather than just looking at things. Taking a more active approach is far superior to just being passive in skill building, and we need to do a lot of practice. So go onto Pinterest or whatever image site you use and to start off with, just find two pictures and a way to combine them. See what you can come up with. You might be pleasantly surprised. There are going to be a lot of missteps and a lot of breakthroughs if you do this, I believe. So Just do your best.